to another episode of the NerdCorp podcast, your one and only source for all things nerdy, whether it be comic books, video games, TV. We got your back. I am your host as always. My name is Matt Hedrick, and here with me doing the grunt work, and I appreciate him for it. That's Chad Porto. How's it going?
I'm the tech man. Dabba dee da dabba dap dap. Scap dap da da dap. Scap dap dee dap dap.
Where have I heard that song before?
I'm the scat man. Yada dabba da dap dap.
Basket- Basketball? What was
You probably heard it on the radio because it's a famous song.
that? No, I mean that's like the first place I heard. I didn't hear it. I don't remember hearing it on the radio first.
When I was in fifth grade, or sixth grade, I used to listen to Radio Disney a lot. So they played that and the Banga bus is coming and something, something, something from New York to San Francisco and inner city disco. And I only like that song because it was was it the Cedar Point ad or was it the Geauga Lake ad? Had the dance and do with no, it's the Six Flags. That's what it was. The Six Flags.
I was gonna say neither one of the neither other names sounded familiar. Like as far as the commercial goes, anyway.
Yeah, it was Six Flags when they bought out Geauga Lake. I miss both Geauga Lake and Six Flags. Just gonna be honest. Oh, okay. So we're gonna preamble. We're gonna talk about the Resident Evil, not Resident Evil. We're gonna talk about that. We're also gonna talk about the Metal Gear Solid announcement. I have mixed feelings, but like whatever. But I watched a video on YouTube. What? I watched a video on YouTube. What did I do next? Listen to a song on Spotify? Get a pizza from Pizza? I'm a rebel.
Such an exhilarating life.
Oh my god, I'm a rebel. I'm breaking all these rules. It was a snowplow cleanup of Cedar Point. Have you ever seen this before?
No, I have not.
So it's basically just they put a camera on top of a snowplow and they're like, we're going to clean up Cedar Point after the big snowstorm on Tuesday. And I saw all these fucking trucks there. I'm like, what are they doing at Cedar Point? And apparently, they have year-round maintenance there. And for just for a season, like one winter, I would love to do that for a job. Like just patrol around Cedar Point for like an entire winter doing things by yourself. Like, if that's not the start of a spooky ookie, I don't know what is.
I was gonna equate it more to Cartman being a Cartman land from South Park.
Well, the rides aren't running, so.
That's true, yeah. Wintertime and all that, yeah.
Yeah. So you're not going to be able to ride let's say the Matterhorn. Matterhorn's not even a thing. You're not going to ride the Top Thrill Dragster or the Millennium Force or what have you. You're just going to walk.
Was the Mindy Racer part of that or no?
I don't know. I haven't been there in a year or two, so. But I'm gonna change that as soon as I get my antiviral COVID blocker. I'm gonna go out and do all the things.
To be fair, you've been experiencing the antiviral COVID blocker just by sitting still.
True. But I want to move really fast now. For $60.
Fair. I think if you get a can of Pepsi or something, they're like 30.
I think it's like 40, but like I don't drink Pepsi anymore, so like that won't be good for my health.
No.
Speaking of not good for my health, so I took a trip to Iowa. Our Zach, one of the members of the website and core group member of the wrestling side of things, was supposed to have his wedding this past Saturday. Last Saturday. But he ended up canceling it about a week and a half out. And I was like, well, I could still get like technically some money back from all my deposits. But I just decided I'm part of like why I wanted to do, go to this wedding was because like I wanted to do a road trip by myself. I love that idea.
You don't do too many of those, do you?
No, and I want to do more. And now that I have a pretty decent job that I can actually take on the road with me, I'm probably going to do more. Just not, 8 hours.
Do like more like day trips and stuff, right?
Yeah, like leave, 8, 9 in the morning, come back 8, 9 at night. Maybe go like see fucking Niagara or some bullshit. Maybe go up to Detroit or go up to fucking Canada. Although I don't need to go to Canada anymore to gamble. I can just do that down in Cleveland. Although I'm not a big gambler either. So I made the mistake of trying to be like, yeah, I'm gonna leave super early. No.
Oh boy.
One, because my internal clock's like, what's this bullshit you going to bed at midnight? Fuck off.
Yeah, I've been there, man. I've done multiple trips where it's like, oh, I'll go to bed at midnight and wake up at like 4 in the morning. No, 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 no.
That's not. It wasn't even that. It was like I tried to go to bed at midnight so I could be up at 7. Nope. So I ended up leaving like around 1 in the afternoon, which was fine. But I couldn't really get sleep beforehand, so I was really fucking tired going out there.
Oh,
So I get there, but I end up taking an exit that I wasn't supposed to. Because if you stay on, I think it's 82 or whatever it was, 80, and you just go west, it'll take you to it'll take you through Iowa. So like I literally did not need to leave where I was, but through Ohio and Iowa, the route that you're on is a toll road, so it's just a straight shot. There's no gimmicks or no nothing. Once you hit Illinois, the toll roll ends, and it's all of a sudden just a typical, typical freeway, with all these fucking exits and whatnot. They're throwing just fucking numbers at you, and you're like, wait, okay, I need to go to Iowa. I go off here. No.
oh man.
And like I told Zach, I told him, like the one thing I don't want to do is find my way traveling through Chicago during rush hour. So what happens? Fucking Christ.
I've been there too. I've driven through Chicago in rush hour. It is a bitch.
I've driven through New York in rush hour, Chicago in rush hour, and LA in rush hour, and of all those, Chicago's the worst.
Wow, that's surprising.
So
I thought New York would have been the worst.
Chicago. Although New Jersey is a real close second, like that exit from New York. But I didn't drive there. I was in a cab. It's pretty fucking terrible. So anyway, the way back was a lot easier because I knew what mistakes not to make this time. But the issue was, again, I was on like 3 hours of sleep because now I had a massive toothache, and a great way to relieve toothaches is warm water with salt in it. I could not find salt in this fucking mile radius that I was in Iowa for the life of me. So like,
oh shit.
I was in some pretty severe pain for most of the night, and then I just started to hop myself up on extra tank Tylenol because that's what they were selling to all the truck drivers.
I was gonna say you were going on a toll road. Isn't there like aren't there like rest areas that do have like fast food places? Couldn't you get salt in those places or?
Well, they give you like little tiny salt. Like you need like significant amounts of salt. Like you need to saturate the water. And like I don't want to be that guy. Can I have 40 salt packets? Didn't want to be that guy.
You wouldn't even ask them, dude. Just like take the shaker right off the table.
Well, there's no shakers on the table. Like everything shut down or minimized because of COVID. So
that's right. Yeah, COVID. Yeah.
I couldn't sneak a fucking salt shaker, although I would have. I'm not a thief by any means, but when you're in that kind of pain. So like I got home Sunday night and I was just like washing my mouth out with salt water, and like Monday morning I wake up going, like it was still there, but like so much easier to deal with. So like I was
having salt water, doesn't that like dehydrate the shit out of you though? Like
yes, that's why you got to drink. Yeah, you got to drink when you're. I mean, you don't swallow the water, so like you're fine there. But yeah, you do need to drink water after you wash your mouth out. Otherwise, you're gonna have a bad time. You eat pizza when you should have pretzeled, or pizza when you breadsticked, you're gonna have a bad time. So,
oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So it was a fun trip. Went and saw the Field of Dreams field and the Star Trek Museum. That was pretty cool. Had a fun little time there. It was good to see Zach. Good to see his fiance. Good, good little fun time. And when they have their wedding next year, I'm gonna go back probably the same way because it was a lot of fun. Only this time I hope to have a cohort, a passenger, just someone else that can take the wheel. Someone other than Jesus. I hear he's terrible at directions. Not as bad as Moses.
Have me come along. No, wait, hell.
Not as bad as Moses. You got people lost for 80 years, but like still. All right. So let's talk about this. We have we have our first announcement about video game stardom, and it's fucking Apocalypse. What's his name?
The actor who's going to be in this movie is Oscar Isaac. I believe
There
his
it
name.
is. There it is. What's your initial thought?
I don't know much about. I don't know anything about this guy really, so I'm
He's
gonna
literally been
kind
in
of divert
everything.
this to you. How do you feel about it?
He was in Star Wars. He was in X-Men Apocalypse. Like, you've seen
Okay,
everything he's been in.
In Star Wars, what was he in Star Wars?
He was Poe Dameron.
In the newer movies, you mean?
Yeah, the new trilogy.
Like he was one of the pilots or something, right?
He was the pilot. Like, the new main three
I know what
was
you're talking about,
Oscar
yeah.
Isaac, Jonathan Boyega, and
Oh, I know what you're talking about now.
the chick.
The chick. That's
Daisy
bad.
Ridley. So Daisy Ridley. Like, they were supposed to be like the new trio of Star Wars, but then the
That's when
movies
you
were
know it is bad
terrible.
when you can barely remember her name.
The movies weren't good. They were terrible.
Mm-hmm.
They were all bad. And the sad thing is, like, this might have been the best cast in any Star Wars movie. It's like that really fucking smacks of stupidity. And Daisy Ridley is gorgeous, man. She is.
The writing was just so bad.
Oh my god! The only reason anyone liked the first one is because it was nostalgia. Like, truly.
Mhm.
The rest of it's just fucking garbage. Like, I would rather watch the prequels than the sequels.
Oof, that's rough. That is rough. Man.
I kind of like Phantom Menace. Not for, like, I like chunks of Phantom Menace, let me be clear. Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan should have been the whole movie. Jar Jar on the Gungans never should have been a thing. They should never have done CGI bullshit. It should have all been practical sets like the original movies. And the matte paintings. Gotta have the matte paintings. For some reason, Natalie Portman was just the worst queen ever, but sometimes she wasn't the queen and somebody else was the queen, and then Natalie Portman was a handmaiden. Then Natalie Portman really had some range as the handmaiden, but then when she was the queen, she was all stoic. There are some issues with the casting. And not Jonathan Lipnicki, whatever that little fucking douchebag is who played Anakin is just the worst. Hayden Christensen was not a bad Anakin. But he got so much shit because he was taking over the role from that little turd. He's just the worst. And he's not even a good person either. He's just such a schmuck. But, like, yeah. First film, Star Wars Episode 1, solid. Without Jar Jar and the Gungans and ignoring the CGI. The second film, trash. Third
Can't really go wrong with some Liam Neeson, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Plus Darth Maul. I mean, like, holy hell, Darth Maul is so cool.
Dual-wielded lightsaber? Come on.
It wasn't a dual wield. It was a double-ended.
Dual sides, I mean, I'm sorry.
Yeah, double-ended.
Like a bow staff, kind of.
Yeah, double-ended. Double-ended Star Wars. And then you got, of course, Baby Yoda and then the Mandalorian. So, like, Star Wars hasn't been completely trash, but it's been mostly trash. And Oscar Isaac, one of the few good things about the new franchise. So he's going to be playing Solid Snake, and the funniest bullshit ever. Is they're like, yeah, he's going to be playing Solid Snake. So they use an image of Snake from Metal Gear Solid 5. Matthew, what is the issue with that?
That's the game you hate the most in the series.
Okay, yes, true. Fair. Anything else that you may know?
Not that I can think of offhand. That was the first thing that sprung to mind.
Oscar Isaac is playing Solid Snake. Solid Snake was not in Metal Gear Solid 5. That was supposed to be Big Boss.
Oh, gotcha. All right. Yep.
Fucking entertainment websites are stupid.
Misplacement of characters. Oh, wonderful.
Right? So we're already off to a solid jam. But he's gonna
start.
Yeah, he's gonna be playing Solid Snake, and they're gonna be reprising, or not reprising, but they're gonna be doing apparently Metal Gear Solid the number 1. So, like, I'm down with that. But I don't know. I have some trepidation I like Oscar Isaac. I think he's a solid pick. But,
Mm.
like, was he the best pick?
Do you think this is something he's going to struggle to be able to pull off?
I don't want to necessarily say struggle to pull off. Partly because, like, if you heard his voice in X-Men Apocalypse, like, holy hell, that doesn't sound anything like him.
Mm.
To the point where now I'm going to check to make sure there's not like a voice double for this film.
Or do you think it's like you think he's taking kind of a risk with taking this role then?
I mean, if you let me talk, I'll tell you what the issue is.
Sorry.
I like how you try to figure out what I'm trying to say before I say it. Like, it's okay. I'll tell you what I mean.
I want to be a mind reader. Damn it, leave me alone.
Well, you're terrible at it. Stop. All right. So I think the issue is Snake has a distinct voice. David Hayter has brought that character to life for years. And it's one of the reasons why Metal Gear Solid 5 was so deadpanned by so many people, because no one wanted Kiefer fucking Sutherland. So when you hear Snake, it's that growl, that, Colonel, Big Boss, Solid Snake. Like, it's that growl. Now,
Right.
Oscar Isaac can do some voices, man. Like, he's super talented. Can he do that? I don't know. We'll see. He is 41, and I don't want to say they're going for a younger actor because he was 41. So I'm kind of sitting there going, why wasn't Carl Urban an option then? Like he's got that growl down. Like we heard him as Dredd. Like he could have been perfect for the role of Solid Snake, or David Hayter.
He could nail that look too, I think.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
It's not a hard look to be. You just got to be kind of Caucasian looking and then have a bandana.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like Grizzly, like the whole Grizzly aspect of it. Like, I think Oscar Isaac, he might be like too pretty boyish, maybe.
No, he's got the grizzled look down. Like he can do grizzled.
Okay. Okay.
No, like he's definitely an option. Like I don't want to sit here and say that he isn't. I'm just not sure if he was the best option. It's not like they went and got like fucking Daisy Ridley to be Solid Snake. No, thank you. No, thank you.
Do you think this kind of tugs along the same lines as like people who claim that only a certain person can do like Batman, like where Kevin Conroy can only be Batman, not the people who've done it in the movies, that kind of thing? You think it relates to it on that level?
I don't know. Part of the problem is David Hayter hasn't really been an actor since the mid-'90s.
Okay.
So, like, even though he does the voice of Solid Snake and has been doing the voice of Solid Snake for years, he's more known for his scripts and directing than his acting. So, like, I'm not sitting here going, why didn't you cast David Hayter? Like, I'm good. I'm fine. I get it. But, like, I don't know. Solid Snake's, like, I'm not even sure if there was an actor they could have said that I would have been over the moon about. Like, I may have hated every option. They could have been like, yeah, we're going to do David Hayter. And I'll be like, David Hayter's 50. What are you doing? Like, I don't know. Like, this is like one of those roles that like they can't fuck up with me. Like, and like, listen, I like Oscar Isaac, so like, I'm not against it. I just need to see it before I'm putting my stamp of approval on it, I guess.
Well, because this franchise, at least at one point in time, was like the closest thing to you in terms of like video games, like other than like the Castlevania, I know is a big thing that resonates with you. I believe this was the other big one for you, right?
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid 1 through 4 are still some of my all-time favorite games. I just refuse to accept number 5 as part of the family. In my opinion, the wife went out and had an affair, and that black sheep doesn't get to come to Christmas dinner.
Damn,
1 through 4 gets
like
to show
that.
up. Yeah, 1 through 4 get to show up. The grandparents, Metal Gear 1 and 2, they get to come, even though Metal Gear, I think it's Metal Gear 1. Yeah, I think it's Metal Gear 1. That got ported to Nintendo is absolutely terrible. It's just the worst. But, like, even still.
The GameCube remake, you mean? Is that what you're talking about?
No, Metal Gear. Not Metal Gear Solid. It's a different game. Metal Gear
Okay.
got ported to the NES because it was a Famicom-only game, I think. and I got ported to the NES, and it was just dog garbage. Oh, it's just the worst. Just so bad. So we'll see how it goes. Matt, are you going to see the movie?
Yeah, I would see it with not many video game movies really appealing to me all that much. The fact that it's a big franchise with you, I might check it out just for the sake of seeing if he can pull it off or not. I'm interested.
The other thing's going to be about the rest of the casting and who else they bring in. Our next story is going to be about certain little Capcom game movie. But what I'll say is they can't afford to fuck up like Resident Evil did. They can't.
No.
They absolutely can't. If you give me Vulcan Raven and it's some dude from Nigeria, I'm going to be pissed. If you give me Sniper Wolf and it's some dude, I'm going to be pissed. If you give me fucking Psycho Mantis, or if you don't even have Psycho Mantis, I'm going to be pissed.
Well, the difference is too is that Resident Evil has always kind of set a precedent in terms of the movies they've made as not being the best movies anyway, being these really cheesy action flicks that don't always have the best stories, characters, and stuff. So
What stories?
they don't necessarily have some big solid foundation to work from. They kind of have to make up for what they've been lacking most of the time, aside from what first movie maybe.
Well, like Wentworth Miller was fucking Chris Redfield. I love Wentworth Miller. Terrible casting choice. Oh my god! I love Wentworth. Terrible. So garbage. Oh, I think wasn't who played Barry?
The only one I remember is when you were talking about Chris, and then I remember was it Mila Jovovich? She played what was her name? I forgot the name of her actual character though. I think it's Alice.
Yeah.
I want to say. Okay, those are only two I stick out to me though.
Let's see. I think I know who it is. Kevin Durant. Yeah, that's exactly who I thought it was. Kevin Durant. You've seen Walking Tall, right?
Yes, I have seen
With The
Walking
Rock.
Tall. Yes.
Do you remember the scene where Johnny Knoxville and The Rock are tearing apart the guy's truck looking for drugs, and Johnny Knoxville's got the little driving driver's wheel, and he just scoots over, and he runs around the guy, fucking handcuffs the chair. Nope, no drugs in this.
So that's the guy.
Yes, that's Kevin Durant. He's been in Legion, the movie with Lucas Black, where the angels are coming down to kill this chick who's giving birth to the second coming of Jesus. It's a weird movie. He's been in Mystery Alaska. He's been head thug in 20 different movies. He was also in a really
what a title.
Head thug, just in 30 different movies. He was also in a really cool show called The Strand, where he was one of the is it The Strand or The Strain? The Strain, where he was one of the main characters. And he talked in a Far Eastern European accent. I love this. He also played Blob in X-Men Origins.
Oh, I do remember that. Oh God.
So I love this dude. He's great, and him playing Barry was a great casting. But that's it. That's the one you got. Oh, they're all so bad. Even the chick that's playing Jill in the original franchise, she's gorgeous. Terrible cast. Terrible. Hated it all. But, you need to do perfected casting with this movie. You can't cut characters. And I don't know how you can hand to God. If you told me that Netflix was doing a Metal Gear Solid series, kind of like Castlevania, only live action, where each season is going to be a new version of the game, or season 1 would be the first game and season 2 would be the second game, and so on and so forth, that would have been perfect. But I don't know how.
Yeah, a little anthology. That'd be cool.
Right, but I don't know how you're going to truncate 60 hours of gameplay and stories into 90 minutes. The backstory alone with Fox Die is an episode. The conversation with the
Jesus.
DARPA chief is an episode. It's like, I don't know how you're going to get all that information in and still make it right. Like, this is why movies are a dead medium. They just are.
Mm.
I want more than just 90 minutes of content. I want it doled out once a week. I don't need to stream it all at once.
Do you think that's the primary reason why most video game adaptations into movies have sucked?
Yes and no. There's definitely films like the Resident Evil franchise that suffer from that. Yes, absolutely. But then, like, do we really want more than 90 minutes of World of Warcraft? You know? Do
or
we
Sonic,
really need,
for that matter, right?
Right? Well, Sonic was a good movie, so I don't want to put it into that. But yes, you're exactly right. We don't need more than what we got from Sonic. You know, do we really need more Detective Pikachu? No, we're good with the 82-minute runtime. You know, do we really need more of, like, I had one. It was the perfect example, and now I fucking lost it. Doom. Do we really need, 92 minutes of Doom instead of 90? No, we're good with 90. And I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. Carl Urban in Doom makes that movie watchable. Carl Urban could have been
because the rest of it is absolute garbage.
Oh, yeah. Carl Urban could have been in Super Mario Brothers movie. I would have watched it, and I would have loved it. Hell yeah. So when it comes to this, I will say that I will wait to pass judgment. That's the best I can give you. All right, let's talk about Resident Evil. So we got some things. We got some things we got to talk about it. We have the cast for it. I'm a little unsure about these guys, but let's
One is
out.
interesting to me. The rest, I'm kind of like, I don't know them.
So the first name on this is Kayla Scodelario. So we're already off to a banger.
Scodeliaro, I want to say.
God damn my tongue.
That is hard, man. That is hard.
KS.
A tongue twister from hell, dude.
Hang on, let's see. It's Portuguese. That's why I'm fucking up. Escoladaria. Think as I say it. I'm just reading it phonetically.
Okay.
I'm looking at the Wikipedia. It's Kaja Jose Escaldario.
Yeah, I'll remember that.
This is definitely something. What has she been in? Crawl, Extremely Wicked, Shocking, Evil, and Vile. Maze Runner. Oh, she's from the Maze Runner franchise. That's where she got her name.
Oh, boy.
That's why I haven't heard of her. Oh, and, okay. This may not mean anything to us, but Skins was a hugely popular show in Britain. They tried to bring it to the United States, and it flopped. So hard. So there's that. Then we got the lesser of the Amels, Robbie Amell. He's going to be playing Chris Redfield. Keep in mind, Chris Redfield has always looked like he's perpetually 40, and Robbie Amell's 32, and like a fucking baby-faced goober.
Now, is Robbie Amell the same one we saw in the Babysitter movies? Is that the same guy?
Yes, that's exactly who that is.
Okay.
Hey, man, you're fighting back. Good for you. Kicks him in the dick.
Yeah, I don't know if I can picture him as
my dick.
Chris. I don't get it.
What's that?
I said, I don't know if I necessarily picture him in this role. I don't know if I could really vibe with it.
He would have been great for Leon.
Again, Leon.
Again, when I think of Chris, I think Carl Urban. Just fucking growling, spitting. I'm the law. Like, all right, cool. Yep. No argument there.
Yeah, Robbie's more like a wisecracker. You know what I mean? Like he's more
no,
he's
a good looking good boy. Like that's what he does. He's the good boy. He's the fresh faced little good boy. Hannah John Kamen is playing Jill Valentine, so there's going to be some upheaval about that because Hannah John Kamen is definitely not white and Jill Valentine is definitely white. However, Hannah John Kamen is 34 kinds of sexy. So like I want to be because you know me, I get murked when people go off brand with their castings. Like just keep the characters as the characters, but also like Hannah John Kamen. Like I ain't mad. Again, like with the Oscar Isaac stuff, I could have found a better choice, but also like Oscar Isaac's great. Looking at Hannah John Kamen, I'm also like Hannah John Kamen's great. So like I'm not mad.
One will outweigh another to at least a certain degree. Then.
Oh, dude, sexy will always outrank my need for nerd accuracy.
Oh my god, I want that on a T-shirt.
Right? Like you could be like, yeah, we're gonna cast Superman. He's gonna be black. And be like, I have some questions, but then it's gonna be like, who? Oh, god damn it! Hang on, I forgot her name off the top of my head. God damn it! Oh, why does it happen to me when I'm trying to make a joke?
Oh god.
Okay. It's always Aldana. You could be like, yeah, Superman's gonna be black and a woman, but we're gonna call him Superman. Wait, I hate that. It's gonna be always Aldana. I'm fine with it. Like,
yeah, that's good.
Like,
Let's go.
I'm on board. It's just she's fucking 64 types of sexy in a 63 type case. Like when you go in to get your 32 scoops, she's bringing in 40. Like, all right, I'm good.
She doesn't do the character justice. I don't care. She's pretty.
She's pretty. She's so pretty. And Hannah John Kamen is great. Like generally speaking, like I'll salivate like a nerd boy over cuteness and sexiness all day long. But she's genuinely talented. Like she was in a great show called Killjoys on Sci-Fi, and she was fantastic in it. She was in Ant-Man and the Wasp, but I didn't watch that movie because fuck Marvel. Apparently, she was in Ready Player One, but I didn't watch that either. She was in Tomb Raider. I didn't watch that either. Tomb Raider's
Ready Player One. I've seen her. I've seen that.
Tomb Raider is another movie that does not need to be more than a movie. Like we're good. We're so good on that. Apparently, Hannah John Kamen was in Game of Thrones, but I don't remember her at all in Game of Thrones. Then again, I think Ed Sheen or whatever his name is had a cameo in that as well. So like, I don't know. If you blink, you miss it, I guess. So, let's see. Back to action. Name that show. Nothing?
No, back to action. I don't know.
Fucking Power Rangers, you goober.
Goober. I don't remember everything about the Power Rangers, dude.
You don't remember the fucking call? You're fucking. All right, so this is a bad casting. Like, I don't even. Tom Hooper is Albert Wesker. Albert Wesker's in his 40s, like late 40s. Tom Hooper's 35. He'll be 36, and he looks like he's 12. What are you doing?
Apparently, they want to cast children in roles now.
Apparently.
For older men, that's weird.
And like he's not in anything worth watching. He's in the Umbrella Academy, which I guess is fine. He was Dickon Tarley in Game of Thrones, and he died. He was in The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. What the fuck is that? He was in Terminator Dark Fate. Oh, God. He was in a show.
What a resume.
He was in I Feel Pretty with fucking...
Oh, no.
Amy Schumer.
No. God, I hate that. Oh, no.
I've never seen a skin porpoise before, but then Amy Schumer came around. The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard is a sequel to The Hitman's Bodyguard starring Ryan Reynolds and Samuel L. Jackson. And the sequel is going to have Frank Grillo. Frank Grillo is a great... Oh, God, I didn't realize he was almost 60. I was going to say he would be a great person for Metal Gear or Chris Redfield, but... You know, I'm not gonna be wishy-washy with my gotta be accurate. Like, dude's almost 60. Like, he's aged out of both roles. Like, maybe Big Boss, but not Solid Snake. But anyway, all right. So back to the Resident Evil stuff. We have Avin Jogia. I think I said that right. He's a Indian Canadian actor. think he's Indian. Let's see.
Okay.
His father is Gujarati Indian, and his mother is English, German, and Welsh. He is also the youngest brother of Kitan, a music producer in London. So he looks nothing like fucking Leon Kennedy. Like, not even slightly, folks. Like, he might be good. He might be really good. But right now, the only thing I know him for is, oh God, he was in fucking Zombieland Double Tap. Ah, no, don't tell me he's that guy.
Oh man.
If he was the dude that, oh no, he was awful. He was the dude that the little sister, Little Rock, I think was her name. Yeah, I think it was Little Rock. Abigail Breslin, that she had a thing for at the start of the movie. And he's like, yeah,
man.
I wrote the Beatles songs, and Bob Dylan, and Abigail Breslin just wants a pretty boy to talk to, so she's like all into it. But then at the end of the movie, she's like, come on, you don't think I know who fucking the Beatles are? Like, get off. But like,
That guy. God.
yeah, he's not he wasn't great. That's not good. But then again, like, also got to remember, fucking the original franchise had like so many terrible fucking actors. So like, I don't know, we're still doing better than the original, so at least there's that. But like I said with Oscar Isaac, I will refrain from judging too hard until I see him. If he at least dyes his hair blonde, I might be more into it.
Mm.
Then we have, I think, the two best additions, although they're playing the wrong roles. At least one of them is playing the wrong roles. Actually, they're both playing the wrong roles. Neil McDonough is playing William Birkin. Neil McDonough should be playing Albert Wesker because that dude looks like Albert Wesker. He all of his great villainous roles are him being Albert Wesker. Watch Neil McDonough in Arrow when he plays Malcolm Merlin. When he plays Damien Dark, it is quite honestly the most fun anyone has ever had playing a villain, and he's fantastic in it.
Yeah, he always gets put in those underused roles. My favorite, the one I always remember him for, was in Walking Tall.
Yep.
When he's Jay.
Yep.
I love that role. That role's great.
He was the dumbass in Angels in the Outfield. Just always
That's
like chewing.
right. I remember that.
He was Lieutenant Hawk in Star Trek: First Contact. If you know the movie, he was the guy when they went out onto the radar dish to destroy the radar as the Borg dudes are working on it. He's the one that gets assimilated. He was in Minority Report as like the second in command who tries to arrest Tom Cruise. He was in The Guardian, but I didn't watch that movie. Let's see. The Hitcher. I think he played the cop who was trying to help. Let's see. He was M. Bison in the Chung Lee movie.
Oh, fuck. Bad choice there, my friend.
Yep. He was Dum Dum Dugan in Captain America. He's been in a bunch of shit. X-Files, Desperate Housewives, Suits, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Agent Carter. Of course, we mentioned Arrow, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow. He was in Van Helsing, the chick version on Sci-Fi. So, he's got, quite a bit of dearth. Quite a bit of dearth.
But you saying Wesker, dude, it stuck. As soon as you said it, I'm like, I feel it right away. Like, he'd be perfect.
Yeah. And then we have Donald Loge as Chief Brian Irons. And I love Donald Loge.
Oh, hilarious.
He's great in everything he does. Whether he's Harvey Bullock on Gotham, whether he's the dad on Grounded for Life, which I think you can watch for free on Tubi. He was.
I've watched it. I watched it on Pluto TV, actually.
Yeah, there it is. He was Declan Murphy on SVU. He was a deranged former FBI agent on Sons of Anarchy. Like, he's fan-fucking-tastic in everything he does. And he's a good dude. Like, he's a genuinely great dude. He was Quinn in the movie Blade with his terrible cornrows.
One of my favorites. Oh, but one of his best psychotic roles ever.
Geez.
I loved it.
He's generally just great in everything, and he plays everything really well. He can be bumbling dad, evil sociopath, like honest, good guy. He's just the tits. But,
Mhm.
when you see him, yeah, all right, he might be a really convincing Brian Irons, but also, why not fucking Barry Burton?
Again, like easily.
Right? Like,
Jesus, easily, dude. I could easily picture him in that outfit, like from the first game. Like, come on.
yeah, it's fucking simple. Like, this isn't a hard thing to do, people.
Like pulling out that magnum and shooting the zombie for Jill. I'm just picturing that scene right now, you know?
I just want to see like him yanking the door open and grabbing Jill and like like ripping her out of the room as it collapses and Jill bounces off the wall behind him and he just turns around and goes, "You were about to be a Jill sandwich," and Jill could be like, "Why are you making jokes right now? I nearly died."
Because I'm funny, bitch. Deal with it.
And then we have two actors, Chad Rook. Sounds like the black version of me. Chad Rook. That's funnier if you remember who Farouk is in WWE lore. The old APA with Bradshaw, Farouk, Chad Rook.
I do remember that. Mm-hmm.
Damn. Ron Simmons, you're a gem. Chad Rook looks to be a tall, thin, blonde dude. So I don't know. He'll probably be Barry because the casting in this doesn't make sense to begin with. So there's that.
Neither will the plot, the dialogue, the action, any of it.
Yeah, it's not good. And then he's been in a bunch of things, just nothing that I actually remember him from. Like, he was in The Flash as Clade Martin, but I don't remember who the fuck Clade Martin is. I want to say it's the Weather Wizard, but I could be wrong. Let's see. I think you were the Weather Wizard. Antagonist, his brother. He's the brother of the Weather Wizard. I guess. So that's who he is. And then the other one is Lily Gao. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. She is, I think Gao is Chinese. Could be wrong about that. She's of Pacific Asian descent. So obviously the first thing that everyone's going to jump to is Ada Wong. Racist, but probably.
This is Resident Evil, man. They're gonna go for stereotype roles, at least to a certain degree.
Well, like, this is modern day Hollywood, and everyone is trying to appease the 20,000 Twitter people who get mad when you don't do something exactly how they want to do it. So you're not gonna cast Ada Wong, who's one of the only obvious minorities in the gaming franchise, as anything but an Asian, a Pacific Asian person, because that'd be fucking stupid. They're clearly cast an Indian dude to be Leon to cater to those 20,000 PC dudes. I looked up the wrong Resident Evil 5. God damn it. I don't want the game. So like you're not gonna cast an Indian Leon and then cast a non-Chinese, Japanese Ada. Like it's like having a vegan dinner and making all the soup out of chicken broth. You missed the point, man. So, I just don't see that happening. Ling Bing Bing. No, I'm not being insensitive. That's really her name. Not Ling. Sorry, it's Li Bing Bing. Played Ada Wong in the films the first time around. God damn it, she's 47 and she looks 28. That ain't even right, man. To be fair, I'm the inverse. I've looked 40 since I was 16, so when I'm 60, I'm gonna be young looking as fuck. Hey, you're 40. I'm actually 110.
I look like a corpse right now. What are you talking about?
You've always looked like a corpse, though. It's like, what do you want from me? And Li Bing Bing was gorgeous as Ada. God, that dress. God, that dress. So I would have to imagine that they're going to have... If they're going to have Ada, Lily Gao will probably end up playing her. If not, she might just be playing random star member. Oh, I hope they reenact the scene in the opening game where Jill's like, what was his name? Fuck. I can't remember his name, but she just like screams his name as he's eaten by dogs. Joseph, that's what
You
it
mean
was.
like when they're running towards
Yeah.
the mansion or whatever?
Joseph! I just want
That
that
real
one
grainy, horrible PS1 video.
Just Joseph gets mangled by a dog. Joseph! I want that so bad. I'm very curious to see how they do this. My initial thought is that they're going to try to truncate a lot of the story of 1 and 2 into one movie, which isn't a bad idea because if you actually like avoid the puzzles and like the backtracking and all of that nonsense, there's really only like 45 minutes of information in both games. So like you could literally do that. Like this isn't Metal Gear Solid where it takes 20 minutes to get through one cutscene.
Yeah, no. Resident Evil has always been a lot thinner in the story department.
The gameplay, is meaty, but the story department like pretty solid. Like literally first whole story of the first game. Stars land, they run the house, they get separated. Wesker betrays them. They kill the tyrant. Resident Evil 2. That's all you need to know.
Enjoy the movie, people. Spoilers.
Right? So like I'm fine with that. And again, like this is one of those things like I don't dislike any of these actors really. Maybe Tom Hopper is really the only one that I have an issue with because he's too young looking. But like I love Neil McDonough, I love Donald Logue, so like I'm on that. I'm always a fan of like casting characters as they're supposed to be. But I'm willing to give Avon Jogia his chance in the sun, and Hannah John came and like, how can you have a problem with that? Like I get they're taking two white characters and swapping them with I think Hannah John Kamen is biracial, and Avon Jogia is obviously biracial because we talked about his descendancies. So like I get that there's gonna be some people like I prefer original casting. And I get that, and I'm usually on the same brainwave on that one. But with Hannah John Kamen, it's like, I'm fine with it. Like, you could have been like, who was the Kingpin in the Ben Affleck Daredevil? Michael Clark Duncan. You could have brought Michael Clark Duncan back from the dead to play Joe Valentine. I've been like, okay. I'm interested.
Who doesn't love some Michael Clark Duncan, right?
Just give him a blonde wig with some lipstick. Chris, it's really good to see you alive.
Have we met?
Jill, you're looking a little different.
Have you hit the gym recently?
I can see P90X is doing wonders for you, Jill. Although I would lay off the beats. It's turning your skin a little bit darker than you're used to.
You're a lot taller than I remember.
There was a gag, a joke, something that we were just talking about. Oh God, I can't remember what it was, but like somebody points out that I think it may have been like a wrestling thing. But someone pointed out like the new version of this character is a bit darker than they used to be. So like in case you didn't notice, so and so is a bit darker than he used to be. Right? He's been tanning recently. I forgot what it was. Fuck. I wish I would have remembered. I'll have to go back and listen to one of the podcasts because I'm sure it's from the last week. Has to be. Just can't remember what it is. I think it was like a fucking joke with Triple H. I think maybe I don't remember. I don't know. I have trepidation about this film, but also I don't. And apparently all the films being made by Warner Brothers, which I think this is a Sony picture. Never mind. Mortal Kombat is Warner Brothers, I think. That's going to be brought to streaming same day. So that'll be interesting.
There's a lot of movies that are doing that in 2021 from what I've been hearing on HBO Max.
It was supposed to be scheduled for a January 15, 2021 release. So we'll see about that. I don't know. Makad Brooks, I kind of know who that is. Real quickly, this is the cast for the Mortal Kombat game. Ludi Lin. He played the Chinese Zack in the Power Rangers reboot. Because Zack used to be black, now he's Chinese. Apparently, that's just I don't know. Again, that bothers me because Zack's black. Why do we gotta shuffle? Just goddamn. I know they did it to take the black character out of the black suit because apparently some people think that's insensitive. I think it's a bit of a unnecessary lateral movement, but that's just me. Oh God, people are way too fucking sensitive. I haven't seen that movie. I have no idea if it's any good. We have Joe Taslim, Joe Saslim. I don't know how you pronounce Indonesian names, so Taslim, I think. He's playing Sub-Zero. I don't know him from anything. He was in The Raid. He was in The Night Comes for Us. Who was he in The Raid? Was he the main character? No, he was the second main character.
Okay.
Have you seen The Raid?
No, but I'm familiar with what kind of movie that is, and if he's part of that, then I would say it would end some pretty good action sequences to this movie.
Well, they're going for people that apparently have that kind of because like Ludi Lin. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm not trying to be a dick by that. Ludi Lin played a Power Ranger. Fucking most Power Rangers in the history of Power Rangerdom has known or take martial arts. Like the entire original cast of the Power Rangers. The guy who played Zack, Tommy, and Jason were all martial artists before getting the role. And that's why they got the roles. Like to this day, Jason David Frank, the guy who played Tommy, is very big into martial arts, even still. So, it's kind of a prerequisite. As far as the next guy up, this is Raiden. Tad Anabo Asano. He was in 47 Ronin with Keanu. He was in the Battleship movie. That's not.
Aye.
That's not good. He played Hogun in the MCU. I don't even know who the fuck Hogun is. And he doesn't look like anyone I've seen much of, so that should be interesting. He's also a musician. Can we just all admit, though, that it's going to be real fucking hard to replace Christopher Lambert as Raiden?
Like, he had the look. At least the look was fantastic.
I know he was very much his own version, but, like, goddamn, he was so good at it. And he's still alive. Bring him back. Jessica McNamee. She's Australian. She's playing Sonya. She was in The Vow. She was in Chips. None of these are good. She's in Battle of the Sexes. Home and Away. Packed to the Rafters. She was in Sirens. Oh
shit.
She played the girlfriend to Michael Mosley's character. Oh, I love her.
Oh, if that's what I'm thinking of. She's great.
Can we just all go out and say that Josh Segara is like a national treasure? Billy, yeah. Billy, yeah, Teresa. Forget your badge. Dang it. Comes back. Billy, yeah, Teresa. Missing your gun. Dang it. Comes back in. Billy, yeah. Where's your vest? Oh, man.
That character too, Billy, aces, man. Oh my god.
And then he goes on to play the best villain in Arrow history as as Prometheus. Oh, he's so good. Josh Segara should be in everything. Josh Segara, I think, would be a great Solid Snake and a great Chris Redfield.
Oh man.
Then we have Mikad Brooks. He's playing Jax. He was James Olsen on Supergirl and on Necessary Roughness, Desperate Housewives. So I know who he is. Then we have Josh Lawson as Kano. Another role Carl Urban would have been perfect for that he didn't get, you whores. I don't know what he's been in. He was in the Showtime show.
Underappreciated Carl Urban, Damn.
Right? He was in House of Lies, not to be confused with House of Cards.
That's a Showtime series, if I remember right, or Cinemax, one of those two.
Showtime. He was in Boytown, Anchorman 2, Bombshell. Holly Slipped Over. Sounds like a bad fucking porno. He was in Superstore as Tate Stiglitz? Who? Why don't I recognize this character? We've seen Superstar before.
Yeah, that name does not ring a bell.
Oh, he's the drugged up pharmaceutical guy.
Oh, okay. All right. Interesting.
You wouldn't happen to have any lewds, would you? What? No. I wouldn't have any of that. Damn it, I really want some. Okay, I'm on board with him being Kano. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, the more I think about it, I picture him a little bit more. Yeah.
Chin Han is playing Seng Shun. Listen, you could cast Jesus in that role. There's only one Seng Shun.
Mm-hmm.
It's just. I'm sorry. It's just how it is. You know, if you're not Kari Haruki Tagawa, I don't want you as my Shang Shun.
Your soul is mine.
Your soul is mine. He was also Johnny Tsunami, for Christ's sakes. Like, come the fuck on. Ekimo.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Oh, I love him. Let's see. Ning Shin Han. Am I saying that right? So yeah, he's playing Shang Tsung. Then we have Hiroki Sanada. I don't even need to look him up. I think he was in the sci-fi series. It was like a zombie show. I can't fucking remember the name of the show. Hang on, let me scroll down. Let's see. Helix. Yep, that's exactly what I thought it was. Helix's first season is great, and then the second season was not. Definitely watch the first season of Helix. Definitely don't watch the second season. He's awesome. I love him. He was also in Extant, The Last Ship. He was in Westworld. I think he was in The Last Samurai. Let me double check. Yes, he was. He was Yu-Gi-Oh! He's in Rush Hour 3 as Kenji. He was in Speed Racer as Mr. Musha.
Kenji, I remember that.
Yeah. I remember him as Speed Racer. He was the detective, I think. Let me double check. Maybe he wasn't. Let me double check, Mr. Musha.
It sounds like with this movie, they're not going very heavy with like making it like Hollywood like to a degree.
Yeah, they're sticking with the authenticity of the characters, which I'm very much down for. I just don't see Johnny Cage, and that bums me out. Max Huang is playing Kung Lao. Yeah, and he looks like Kung Lao. That'll work. So Max Huang is definitely Chinese. I think Huang is Chinese, but he lists him as born in Nuremberg, Germany. Well, that's a first. I'm Chinese and German. What? You're Germanese?
That's a thing? That's going to be a bitch when you visit relatives. What are you going to eat?
Noodles and kibasi.
Oddly enough, those things are always readily available.
Right? Cece Stringer's playing Melina. And she's already embracing the role by painting on Melina's weird mouth onto hers. You do you, girl.
Ooh. Okay, creepy.
Yeah, her mouth is weird. I don't get it. She appears to be biracial, so that'll be interesting. And then Alyssa Cadwell is playing Nitara. I don't know. Who the fuck's Nitara? Throw me for some goddamn loops here, people. Is a Batwing Vampiress. Sexy. Schmexy sexy.
Okay, then.
Alyssa Caldwell is pretty gorgeous, I guess. Kind of. They're going for, I think, more authenticity with not just who they are in terms of, geologically, speaking. Like, you're not going to cast a white dude to play Liu Kang. But I think they're also going
Right.
with people who can do their own stunts because it looks like Alyssa Caldwell is some type of acrobatist. So like that's a thing. Like, all right, that'll work. But yeah, there's
Even if the plot sucks, you could have some good action sequences in here, man. You really
Exactly.
could.
well, James Wan is directing it, or just producing, I should say. Simon McQuoid is directing it. I wish Johnny Cage was in it. You know, I like Johnny.
That's disappointing. Like, who would you put in this role nowadays?
Well, give me an age. Like, what is Johnny Cage? Like, give me an age.
Man, if I had to say, Johnny's probably like maybe 40, mid-30s, 40s,
Stephen
somewhere
Amell.
around there. There you go. That can work.
Stephen Amell doesn't have great range, but he can at least do Pretty Boy Smile and do Kickies. So, like, that'll work.
I like how you like oversimplified that.
That's all you need to do. Smile and do Kickies. And then maybe drop a throwback line to the 90s movie. Those were $3,000 glasses, asshole. I just want one scene where like they're all fighting and then, you know, Stephen Amell and Johnny Cage goes, "This is where you're supposed to fall down." And then the guy just kind of looks around and goes, "Ah!"
Dude, when they killed him in the second movie, that was like, all right, I don't even know if I want to watch the rest of this.
Dude, there was no second movie. There was
Okay,
one
never
Mortal
mind.
Kombat. It ended, and that was all they ever made. Period. Considering most of the cast has been revealed since last December, I don't imagine that they're going to have Johnny Cage in this.
Yeah, because it's probably been filming for a while now.
That'd be my guess. Let's see. Production, release, production. Confirmed that the film would be delayed until theaters reopen due to the parts of the stream simultaneously removed. Let's see. Oh, filming. There it is. Production took place at Adelaide Studios and other locations in South Australia. Shooting commenced from September 16th through December 13th. Todd Garner stated that we have more days to shoot in the statement regarding the film's release delay. So maybe we're gonna get Johnny Cage. Maybe it'll be cameo. Maybe he'll pop up in the end and be like da 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 da.
Like
Johnny Cage.
Like post credits or something. You think?
I hope more than just post credits, but yeah, I could see that. So there's that. All right, let's move on. Talk some Caddicarus and YouTube stuff, Matt. We're gonna tackle the Caddicarus one together. So handle that one last. But what else have you been watching?
I'll go over them relatively quickly so we can tackle this one. Man of the Jedi always did a solid. Did you been doing this series called After? I wasn't even aware that this was a thing.
Oh God!
But
wait,
apparently
the
it was-
romance movies.
Like, yeah, After We Collided, I didn't even know I didn't even know the first one had a sequel. And Jesus Christ,
I love those videos. Oh, those were two of my favorites she's ever done.
just because of so many wrong ways that guys treat women, or that both sexes treat each other in these movies, is just like, Jesus, man, are you even human?
Right.
It's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. But yeah, that was a solid. Both of those were solid. I haven't watched the one on the happiest season, primarily because I actually want to see it on Hulu first before I go see her take on it. So yeah, but the After We Collided was a solid one.
It's
Matt
got
McMuscle-
love between two guys.
Oh,
Technically,
that
it's
fucking song.
it's
Don't do it.
lady love between two gals, but still.
Yeah, either version's fine with me. Matt McMuscles did a Wii U. What happened? I'll tell you what happened. The Wii U sucked. Moving on.
Yeah, I watched it, and then someone else took the reins. I'm like, why? Why am I watching this? So I stopped watching it.
Dude, I could sum the Wii U up for you in like 5 minutes. You did not need. How long? You take it like 15 to 20? Like, no.
I'm going to offer up a controversial statement. If the Wii U didn't exist, the Switch would never have been as good as it was.
considering the fact that it is a hybrid of two other ideas, you're not wrong.
I generally do believe that they're like the Switch was what we always wanted the Wii U to be, but we just didn't have
Mm.
the foresight, the ingenuity, or the resources or technology to make it happen, and we just had to kind of deal with what we had. So,
Well, when I see him when I see him pop up a YouTube video like this, I'm like, I think most people too in the community who watch him already know exactly what happened. You know, it was poorly managed, it was poorly marketed. The idea was not very well developed at that time. You had no games supporting it. This is not exactly nothing in here was some shocking reveal. You know, like so. Yeah, I do at times enjoy his content, but I think for this one, I don't know. It's kind of like I already know this already. You could have picked something else, like a little more controversial. You know,
mm-hmm.
it just seemed like it just fell flat for me. Slopes Game Room did a couple videos. He did one on a canceled game based on the Sin City franchise that I never even knew was. I know what Sin City is, but I never knew it had a game. That was a pretty good video. And he also did one on terrible Xbox Kickstarters, and I love how he started it with the whole like people are idiots and vaping through their Xbox Series X consoles, and I'm like, oh yeah, we're already off to a rocking start. But still a solid video. I always like him when he does these things to show just how far people are willing to go. You know, it's
Mm-hmm.
always a good watch. Scott the Waz doing his crazy shit as always. Dude's always consistent with the laughs, always funny. Did one for personal trainer cooking. He was doing that. That was a DS game from back in the day. He was trying to use it to learn how to cook himself Thanksgiving dinner, and he's like the recipe call for all these different ingredients. He's like, all I got is like half an onion and some beans. Is that okay? No, probably not, dude. And he also did one on pre-orders and how he finds them to be pretty much completely useless and redundant, and he makes a joke in there that it resonates with me very much so. Maybe not so much a joke as a statement that the feeling of going into a store just to pay some money down on something and then leave, it just feels useless, you
Mm-hmm.
know. There's that no tangible feeling in there, and he's like, every time you go to the store, that's what you want to feel, you know. And when you don't get that, and he's like, plus you getting the promise of most of these games are going to release later anyways, so why bother? Like, if unless you think it's going to be absolutely rare, it's a waste of time. And I agree with him on that. I think he's completely right. And then just for random sake, he did one on Wii chess, and I don't know why. He went as far as to get a Wii U that was European, so he could play a European game on it. Dude's out of his mind, as far as I'm concerned. But that was a funny, shorter video. Still good though. SNES Drunk had quite a few highlights this week. He had some boss fights in SNES games, which was a good one. Some good picks for Genesis games. Some of those I resonate with, and a look at Indiana Jones' Greatest Adventures, which I've always considered playing because it's along the same lines as the Super Star Wars games, but all condensed into one package instead of like three different games. And from what he's saying, I'm intrigued to play it based on some of the certain situations you get in, how difficult they are. And I want to see if I'm able to come over those. I won't be, but I want to see anyway. Let's see. Nerd Slayer, he did a video on the death of a game on Anthem and how big of a clusterfuck mess that was. But that's been done by so many people. I do like, though, how he pinpoints things exactly as to what went wrong. And he does it in this video, and he goes, this is a game that shouldn't, it's not BioWare. It should have never been made by BioWare. They had no idea what they were doing, and it was one of the most poorly managed things I've ever seen. And I'm like, I tend to agree. That's why I didn't really play it. She says, did a boundary break for 10 creepy discoveries in video games. None of it really stood out too much, although I always find his stuff that he finds to be pretty cool. And Cinemassacre did behind the scenes of AVGN 1 and 2 Deluxe. Again, this content is grating on me. It's the only one I found interesting enough to watch because he did do an AVGN episode, but that didn't resonate very well. And I don't know. This content is becoming missed for me as of late, even still. So, but that's about it for me.
Time to retire the character, man. Just do movie
Yeah,
shit.
please.
So there's two that I want to watch that I haven't watched yet. We'll talk about Caddy here right now, but I didn't watch Only in Japan. John Dobb, he posted one about Japanese mushrooms, farm to table.
Hmm.
Generally, shit like that doesn't interest me, but like this dude is always so fascinating, and his love of the content and the stuff that he talks about, it draws me in. So like I'm gonna watch it eventually. And then the Sphere Hunter did one about the Miles Morales review for PS5. I haven't watched that yet, but I'm going to. I love her. She's awesome. So let's talk about Caddy real fast.
Oh
Caddicarus
God.
is my favorite creator, at least in the top three. Ill Will Press, the Punk Rock MBA, him, Sphere Hunter, Man of the Jedi. They're all up there. And like I don't even have an issue with anything in this video. It was entertaining from start to finish, and his arguments and tangents all make sense.
Mhm.
But you could have made this into a 30-minute video. Instead, it was an hour and a half, and like if it was an hour and a half with like half of it being bits, okay, I get that. But like most of the bits or gags were 20 seconds. He literally talked, I would say, for about an hour and 15 minutes of an hour and 28-minute video about the game.
Oh my God.
And we don't need that. Like, we don't.
No.
I don't know why he thinks this is more fun for him to do than the 15, 20-minute reviews. That's fine. That's his prerogative. I'm just saying that we don't need 90-minute reviews. That being said, it's still hilarious, and I feel conflicted because it's like I had to spend 2 hours making a burger when a burger should take no more than 4 minutes, but also it's a really damn good burger. So, like, I'm torn. Like Natalie Imbruglia, I am torn.
Yeah, it's impressive the fact that he can maintain and entertain you for so long, but to a certain degree, it's also tiring to watch.
Like, if he wanted to do like 90-minute skits, I'd watch the fuck out of that. But like, I don't need 44 different versions of why trying to 100% crash ban Banuka is too hard and shouldn't be something that you try to do. Like, man, you don't need to make the video as long as the game is.
I would have even taken it, split it up into segments, like based on certain different aspects that maybe he wanted to cover, instead of having it be one elongated thing, like do it a 2 or 3 parter or something. Spread it out over time. I would have gladly taken that.
It was not good. Too long.
Yeah, grueling. Like granted, I agree with him too. Like, I find all the stuff that he says funny. I find his points to be valid. I've played the game. That's why I was really like interested to see his take on it. And I've never tried to 100% these things, but everything he's saying is valid, and all of especially his take on the power-ups and how it appeals to him, it appeals the same way to me, like how all the different masks are incorporated into the gameplay. I really dug that, and he did too. And a lot of the game itself is just fucking crazy. It's like the perfect love letter to send off the PS4 to go to the PS5, in terms of what these games can bring.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no reason to talk about it for an hour and a fucking half. I could talk to you about it in 10 minutes.
So that being said, I also have 3 others that I thought were really good. The Wrestling with Regret channel did a great review on WCW Sin, which was one of the last 3 pay-per-views that they ever produced before they went out of business. He's going to be doing all 3 of the last 3: Sin, Super Brawl Revenge, and I think it's Greed. So that should be interesting. I'm looking forward to that. So if you ever wanted to see how how WCW ended, this is the one to hop back in on. Wrestling with Regret with a W. So it's Wrestling with WREGRET. Then we have the 10 most disappointing comebacks in MMA history from MMA On Point. Again, if you're looking for MMA history, this is definitely the content for you. It's good stuff. They do good stuff. Finally, though, my favorite video of the week, just because of who I am and what I'm about, the Punk Rock MBA He posted a video called the "Who are the four?" Finn McKenty, that's his name. God damn it, I was trying to remember who it is. He posted a video about who are the four big four of pop punk. Goddamn, the Mount Rushmore. He made the equivalation of or equivalency of metal had the big four of, I think it was Metallica, Anthrax, Slayer, and Megadeth. And he's like, so like if we're gonna do a version of pop punk, who would that be? I'm not gonna spoil it for you. Go check it out. It's a good video if you like, like Green Day and Newfound Glory and Blink 182 and all them. So go check it out. I think you'll enjoy it. Let's see what else we have on the docket. So lastly, some stuff. I think I finally decided that I'm going to buy Final Fantasy VII. I think I'm going to go. I think I'm going to go in on some new games for Christmas. Thinking about getting Madden just because I want a new football game, but maybe I'll just keep playing NCAA 2013. I'm torn.
Is the remake back on sale again?
I have no idea.
It was for Black Friday as far as I know.
I have no idea. It might be. I might get NBA 2K21. We'll see. Definitely Advent Children. I'm thinking about getting Resident Evil 3. I might get 4 or 5 games for myself for Christmas. I don't know yet.
Doing that well, huh, man?
No, I mean, I'm not doing that well, but a lot of these games, like NBA 2K21, I saw for like $40. I think it might even be a little bit cheaper than that. Let's see. Advent Children. Not Advent Children. I love that movie, though. Final Fantasy VII Remake, I saw for like 40 at one point. I saw Resident Evil 3 for 20 or 30. It's like all in all, it's like $100 for some of these games total. So, we'll see. I haven't decided. And I went and got my friend a video game because she just bought herself a Switch. So I went and got what was it? Not Harvest Moon, but it's the mainstream version of Harvest Moon. Animal Crossing, I think that's right.
Yeah, Animal Crossing.
Yeah, so I got her Animal Crossing, and I think I'm gonna get her Harvest Moon as well. But so I send her a Christmas gift and birthday gift package every year, and have been doing so for like a decade. So she bought herself a Switch, and she's not really a gamer, so I'm like, this is gonna be interesting. So part of me is like, I'll send her Doom. She's totally meek and mild, like she'll love Doom. No, she wouldn't. So instead of being
fair, you picked a perfect game for the gamer. You
yeah,
did.
that's exactly why I went and got it. It was either that, Harvest Moon. She had gotten one of the Zeldas, but I couldn't remember if it was Breath of the Wild or the remake. So I didn't want to get her the wrong one that she already had, because she lives out of state. So changing these in would not be an easy thing to do. And then I was thinking about sending her Sid Meier's Civilization because she's very much into like design and building and shit like that. So I figured that would be something that would very much vibe with her. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if I hit a home run with this. And ironically enough, I know she doesn't listen to the show, so I don't need to worry about this. I was originally going to buy her a Game Boy Advance because she's like a fan of like the Disney movies and shit like that. So I was going to get her like a bunch of like the good Disney Game Boy Advance games and like send that together as a package. Then she got herself a Switch, so I'm like, well, it changed the entire game.
I was gonna say, man, yeah, because the Game Boy Advance is the perfect place to get all that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect place.
Like Lilo and Stitch is like our jam. I love that movie, and she loves it. So I was gonna get her the 2 Lilo and Stitches and send it out to her. I could still do that, but now that she got the Switch, like we're gonna ride this pony and see what happens. So yeah, I walked inside of a GameStop for the first time in years. I also ended up buying her a Baby Yoda pancake maker.
There you go. Nice.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a fun thing for her. So, watch anything, do anything that you want to mention?
Yeah, I hit the streaming services pretty hard over the past week or so that we haven't done a show. I caught a few things. I did finally get a chance to watch Animaniacs. We were talking about that, and I've only caught about 4 episodes so far, and it's fucking hilarious. It's just as good as I remember it. The only disappointing thing that I've seen so far, and I believe we talked about it the last time we talked about Animaniacs, was that there's only really two recurring things going on in the show, and it's just Yakko, Wacko, and Dot and Piggy in the Brain.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, they're the main parts of the show that I love, but I always appreciated the variety of all the other characters. And I know you told me there was supposed to be some big blowout where they mention all of them, and I don't think I've seen. I don't know if I don't believe I've seen that yet, but that's disappointing. But as the show as itself is like you're right. It is exactly like watching a new season, like easily, and I can't wait to watch the rest of it.
I don't
Let's
think I was the one
see.
who told you about some big blowout because I haven't.
I've heard it from some. I heard it somewhere because a bunch of different YouTubers have done it too. Maybe I just got it mixed up.
So what else?
Let's see. The fresh cast of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air did a reunion special on HBO Max. It was interesting to see them all come back after all this time. They did pay tribute to James Avery in a nice way. They actually had both Vivians on the show because Will was like, I can't do this without Janet. It wouldn't make sense. And to hear her story and how she got kind of almost basically pushed out of the show after the third season was crazy. How I mean, it was always a money issue thing, but she had a shitty life too on top of it, and nothing was going well, and she basically got blacklisted after that happened. Not to be mean with that term, but that's what she said too. So
She did not because
I'm
she's
just
been in a
paraphrasing.
bunch of shit since then. Like blacklisted means you don't work again.
I'm just saying that's what she's. What I'm saying is that's what she said. That doesn't mean she's correct.
She's
you know?
not correct
I'm just-
because she's been working very steadily.
Yeah, I'm. You know how people can flip things. You know that. That's how these things always work. But so, aspects of that, we even got to see because you see most of the major cast there, and I'm wondering, I'm like, where is little baby Nicky? You know, from like the last two seasons, and he shows up just out of nowhere, and I'm like, damn, like he I couldn't believe they even got him to do that, but I really wish James Avery was there, man. But it was still a good special regardless. I caught was it Palm Springs, the Andy Samberg movie,
How was that?
and shit, that is funny. Oh man, like I like the spin of it on the Groundhog Day aspect, where there's two people going through it, or actually more than two people going through the same thing together. They're in like kind of the same time loop. So there's this whole thing of like the girl in the movie or whatever, she can't accept it, so she keeps trying to mess with things, thinking she's gonna break the loop or something. And that's my favorite part, is when she thinks she's gonna fix something, and that's supposed to get her out of it. And then the very next day, Andy Samberg's laying in the bed just waiting for her to show up, staring at the door. And she goes, "Yep, well, that didn't work. Life is useless. Let's go." Like that, the movie, it makes for a good movie, and it does have a nice message to it in the end as well. So yeah, it's a solid fun time. Um, let's see. Other than that, let's see. I watched the Seth Rogen movie on HBO Max. That was a weird one. Yeah, that was a weird one.
He's terrible.
I didn't personally mind it. I know you don't like him. I know you don't like him, but I actually enjoyed the movie. But I'll say nothing more than that, so I won't torture your brain. And I watched one of Marlon Wayans' movies on Netflix, Naked, I believe it was. And Marlon Wayans has always been a likable dude as far as I'm concerned. But his movies and shows and stuff are hit or miss. This was actually a hit, and it was pretty funny. So, and you got what's his name from Scrubs? He was in this movie. Elliot's boyfriend, the guy who worked at SeaWorld. I forgot his name. Sean.
Okay.
Or whatever. He was in the movie as like the ex-boyfriend to the bride or whatever. And the scene that they have together, him and Marlon together, where he's trying to remember how to fight him or something, is funny. And every time he screws up one more move, to the point where he's like freaking John Wick, memorizing all the moves. That shit was funny. But yeah, solid. It's a solid watch for me. But I'm not going to say anything more. I mean, as far as playing goes, I won't get into that list. You can just check that on the site. I've been doing a deep dive into retro gaming still. Lots of stuff on Dreamcast, GameCube, Nintendo DS. I played some homebrews on Super Nintendo and NES, but I'll get all to that in an article because it's too big of a list to cover here. But no, other than that, I'm pretty much all set.
All right, then. That'll do it for this week. We're done. Be sure to check out the retro review this week. We did Metal Slug, I think.
Slug.
Metal Slug. So go check that out. Then we're back on Tuesday. Twitch.tv/Wrestling Underground. Go check us out. 10 p.m. We're going to be recapping Kenny Omega's Impact Wrestling debut. So check that out. For Matthew Hedrick, I'm Chad Porto. Thanks for tuning in, checking us out, giving us a chance. RealNerdCorp.com, RealNerdCorp. Matt, what's your personals?
Twitter, MNerdCorp, same handle on Twitch.
You can find me on Twitter at ChadNerdCorp, ChadNerdCorp, and on the Instagram at Chad's Photo Hut. We'll see you next Saturday for another two-parter on Twitch.tv/Comic and Gamecore. It'll get a new name eventually. Just keep an eye out for that. For Matthew Hedrick, I'm Chad Porto. Matt, say goodnight.
Good night, everybody.